Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time Special Edition Ant-Man Review. You guys know me, I'm me, Sean, and I just wanted to give you guys my first impressions. I watched Ant-Man 45 minutes ago, an hour ago maybe, I don't know, I can't remember what time I got out, I'm so tired. Been up all day, long day for me. But I watched this film, and I had a great time with this film. This film is it's something that's its own thing. It stands by itself. It fits into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, it does. But at the same time, it's its own movie. It is different than every other Marvel movie. You have Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a Marvel film, but it's its own film. It stands on its own. It doesn't need to necessarily have the other films to carry that film. You have Captain America the Winter Soldier, and yes, that is right there inside the core of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because that's Captain America, but it's its own movie. It's its own like thriller type of film, you know, like back an older type of film. It's its own style. And then you have this one, Ant-Man. This one has been said for a while now that it's going to be a heist film, and it is its own film. It has this definite heist feeling to it, and it's great. I love that about this film. It doesn't need the other films to stand up. It can do it all by itself. I like it. Let me jump into some of the things other things I like about this film. Dialogue, great dialogue in this film. In this film, they do a great job with it in ways that they can make the movie funny without having to go for this joke that doesn't fit in with what would be said. It's just kind of natural with all the characters, how they react to things, how they see things, how they view things, their opinions, and just kind of each character has their own personality, and it doesn't go over the top. It doesn't throw out any illogical like timing, like jokes for joke's sake. It just goes with a good pace of dialogue, and they hit their mark in this film. The acting on all fronts is really well done. You know, especially the main 3-4 people in this film. You got I'm not gonna say all their names, but the guy from House of Cards, a great actor, really love him. As the villain, I really like him. I think he did a great job. He really does have this menacing feel to him. He has a strong presence. Michael Douglas, great job by him as well. He just knocks it out of the park. Paul Rudd, he shows that he doesn't have to necessarily be the character that he's in all of his Judd Apatow movies. He can show a different side. And then you got Evangeline Lilly playing the daughter, Hope. She does a great job as well. All these characters combine to make an ensemble cast that is very solid. Even in the supporting roles, you have good actors like Michael Pena. And it's just a great job by the people that put this film together. Other things I like with this film, you know, and it took me a second to realize this, but I initially thought that there was action lacking in the film, but now I'm okay with where the action is, because in the first act there wasn't much action. It developed the characters a lot. The second act developed the characters a lot still, but there was a nice fight scene with the Falcon. And then in the third act, it carried all that stuff it worked on for the first 2 acts, and you knew who the characters are, you knew what's going on with them and how they're feeling, and it gave you all the action that you wanted. And so I think it was very successful with that. The action was all believable, it was solid, it made you feel like Ant-Man, the character of Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, Scott Lang, can do the things he's doing, and he is skillful at them. And he can hold his own, you know, he can pull his own weight against some of these other characters, some of these other people in this universe. Some of the other positives that I like about this film, you have some really nice Easter eggs in there. There's a Spider-Man Easter egg in there. You have some nice cameos in there, and kind of involvement of other parts of the universe like Hydra, some involvement of them that kind of keeps things going to let you know, like, hey, this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You have a cameo in there by the Falcon, and you have the mention of the Avengers. And then last but not least, you can't forget about the Stan Lee cameo that is required in all Marvel movies. It was a nice one, and it wasn't shown until the end of the film, and it almost like was at the point where I forgot that this was gonna happen. I didn't know it was gonna happen, I mean, you never know where he's going to show up, but you know he's going to show up. And in this case, we went through the whole movie and I totally forgot that he hadn't had his cameo yet. And when it happened, everybody in the theater was like, oh yeah! Everybody was like clapped and cheered, and it was really fun. It was a great cameo. It didn't require too much on his part, and it was just perfect. I thought it was great. Some of the negatives I had about this movie, some of the cons, things I think they could improve on. After thinking about it, I do feel they had there was a nice balance of action, character development, as well as storytelling. So initially, that was a negative for me. I wanted there to be more action, but now that I've thought about it more, I'm okay with how it ramped up. One of the negatives that has been in my mind since the third act is I forgot what his real name is, but Darren Cross, the Yellow Jacket. He is supposed to be this really smart guy who is trying to perfect this supposed formula from Hank Pym, and he's a nerd, but he's a powerful guy, and he's running this company. But all of a sudden, he puts this Yellow Jacket suit on, and he knows how to fight. And he's, it's almost to the extent like the suit doesn't make him fight better. All it does is make him get bigger, smaller, and he has like weapons on the back, like guns. But that doesn't mean, to me, he shouldn't have been going hand to hand with Ant-Man. He shouldn't have even been level with him. And they kind of show them being very even when it came to the hand-to-hand combat. So I was a little disappointed in that, because throughout the movie, Scott Lang comes from a criminal background. He knows how to fight to a certain extent. And then when he gets with Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne, she goes by Janet Van Dyne's name instead of Hope Pym, they train him how to fight and things like that. So to me, I would have thought he should have been heads and shoulders above Yellow Jacket when it comes to fisticuffs. So that was something that I didn't like entirely. I wish that would have been a little bit more well thought out. Maybe somehow use the weapons to Yellow Jacket's advantage, so he has to overcome it more. They actually kind of do at the end when Ant-Man defeats him, but it was very split second kind of thing. I wish they would have worked on that a little bit more. And then also with the character, the Yellow Jacket character, the Darren Cross character, I wish they would have developed him a little bit more and shown us a little bit more of him as a character, as a person. They did do a nice descent from being neutral to being evil, but there's a clear point in the film where it takes a sharp drop. But you do see this descent, and you do kind of get a history of why this descent is happening, but I thought it could have been done better. And this is where Marvel has had some hiccups with most of their films. I think they could do a better job. I still think the character Darren Cross was nice. Yellow Jacket was a good villain. But I wanted to see more of why they thought they were so righteousness instead of just a kind of revenge, redemption type of deal. So overall, guys, not much on the negative side, just a couple things. I thought this film was really well done. I thought Peyton Reed, he did a great job of picking up the slack when he came in on short notice. He did a really good job with this film. Great, really good acting, good action, good storytelling overall. It stands on its own 2 feet. It doesn't need the other Marvel movies to help prop it up. It's its own film. It's different, and I like that. I am definitely gonna see this film again. I want to see this one in theaters again. It had this nice feeling to it that I really like seeing this type of movie in the theaters. And I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. There are certain aspects of it that are different, of course, than other Marvel films. I really enjoy it. I recommend it to everybody out there. Go into this movie with an open mind and be willing to accept the fact that this is gonna be, it's a little different than everything else from Marvel that you've come to see. It's actually also too very family friendly, so definitely take your kids. There are a few curse words, but I mean, Marvel slips a few of them in there, here and there, and just make it a little bit more realistic in certain parts. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot to mention this. There are 2 end credit scenes. First of which is showing you that the Wasp is gonna join the fray. I like this. I like what they did. The suit looks awesome. Evangeline Lilly's gonna look smoking hot in it, and I can't wait to see if they're gonna involve her in Civil War. I know they're involving Ant-Man, but I would like to see her involved in Civil War. I think having her, this character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to do great. It's going to be great for all female characters in this. She's going to be more, I think, a little bit more powerful than a Black Widow per se, because of her suit, and she could do more things. I'm really looking forward to that. The second end credit scene shows us with Captain America and Falcon, and they've caught Winter Soldier, and it looks like they're trying to get him back to their Avengers facilities, and they're talking about how they're going to do this, and they're kind of being vague, but you kind of catch their drift of what they're doing, and it's really interesting. It's kind of setting everything up for Civil War. So both scenes kind of set up Civil War. Both scenes give us a little taste of where we're going to start from. They don't tell us exactly what's happening, but I'm happy. I'm fine with that. Just give us a starting point. So I imagine from this point in the films to the start of Civil War, stuff's going to happen. And you're going to have to infer that when Civil War happens. But I'm happy with what they showed. They're good end credit scenes. And yeah, so again, that ends this review, guys. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation about Ant-Man. Let me know if you guys watched it. Did you like it? What you didn't like about it? And yeah, let's have a great conversation about it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.